Bitter Criticism Studio. 47 minutes reading bullshit. No, I don't think that this is bullshit, you know. It's very critical. It's like critical journalism in a critical world. What a critical world, isn't it? Russia Today banned on YouTube. So what left? What left? What are these world we are living in? What are these? What is this? What is this world we are living in? The cancellation world. And that's why I always read Russia Today. Absolutely crazy, because the West is saying Russia Today will remain canceled for more 5 years. This is not the world I thought 3 years ago. Honestly, 3 years ago I thought right now I will be in Finland making a lot of money. Just really happy, you know, for sure. Going to Norway too, make a lot of money, great business. But as I was listening to this Dialogue Works, I don't remember the exactly column. It's better, yeah, but it was a very nice one, a very nice one. Dialogue Works. Unfortunately, I don't remember now. I'll try to find the video. Well, I listen a lot of podcasts, but sometimes the podcasts are not so great. But this time it was. This podcast was really, really great. I hope to find the podcast right now somewhere. I was listening music, a lot of music and bullshit. Because maybe it's this one. Look, maybe this one. Martin Armstrong. Maybe it's Martin Armstrong in Dialogue Works 1 day ago. Why the US can't stop obsessing over Russia. The shocking BRICS versus G7 showdown. That's why, I guess it's this guy.
So honored to be with you, Martin, today, and let's get started with what's going on right now with the U.S. foreign policy.
I guess it's that video. Is this interview?
Um,
I'm not sure.
Vietnam, you're 18, you're old enough to be drafted and go die for your country. You were not old enough to have a drink, and you were not old enough to vote. But that's democracy? You know, you don't have a right to say no. And if you said no, you were thrown in prison as it likely declining at this stage in the game. And when it declines, it takes the rest of Europe with it. So in trying to harm the economy of Russia, all they did was they harmed the economy of Europe. I mean, it's, you know, yes, it's illogical, but these people don't think of it that way. I have to get Russia. That's all they think.
Well, I guess it's this. I guess it's this very podcast. I guess it's this very one. Well, very nice. The world is definitely crazy. The West is definitely psychopathological, as Pepe Escobar say. The West is crazy. Why they all this destruction? While they are all making war against Russia, just leave Russia alone, you know. Well, the West is declining. The West is suiciding. That term was. I said that to Pepe Escobar once. I asked that to Pepe on TV 24/7 once, like 1 year ago or something. Yeah, 2 years ago. Terrible, terrible. That absolutely changed my life. You know, I thought right now I will be in Norway or in Finland, just living la vida loca. You know, just having a really nice time. The matter of fact is nobody is having a good time in the West anymore. So what stupid times we are living in. So let's read some Russia Today because they are canceled on YouTube. Will you? Will us? August 22. That's today. Virgo sun. The sun enters Virgo. So everybody, every person, every anniversary is a Virginian. Anyway, home world news. Russia Today. Trust will be Raisi's legacy. Iranian president's widow tells Russia Today. Iran's former first lady has given her first interview since Ebrahim Raisi's death in a helicopter crash. Her name is Jamileh Alamolhuda, widow of the late Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi in Tehran. The late Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi managed to achieve exceptional things through honesty and empathy. His widow Jamileh Alamolhoda has told Russia Today in an exclusive interview. Raisi died in a helicopter crash in May on the way back from meeting with Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev. The official inquiry found no signs of sabotage or human error, ruling it an accident caused by bad weather and the helicopter being overloaded. But you know, you have. I will be even more critical than Russia Today. Bitter criticism against the U.S. sanctions. You know, Iran is the most sanctioned country, maybe all alongside Venezuela and Russia. So sanctions. If you live under a rock, you don't know this. The West sanctions. You know, a very domestic example. Salvador Allende was heavily sanctioned, I guess. I'm pretty sure about that, but that was 60 years ago. So that's the sad reality. Tommy! Tommy was escaping. That's my super trooper. I guess a super trooper is a troop. I'm not sure about. Well, sanctions. Why Iran doesn't have a decent helicopter? Why Iran, important country, doesn't have a decent helicopter? Because of sanctions, of course. Sanctions. Do you think that's fair? I don't think so. You know, there's not free trade. It will be great if the world will be just ruled by free trade. You should listen this guy, that I showed before. That Dialogue Works. You should listen. All Dialogue Works is a super nice page. Not all Americans, they are psychopaths, psychopaths. Some of them they are progressive. You understand? So anyway. Alamolhoda spoke with Russia Today on Wednesday in her first and only interview since Raisi's death. She said she declined many requests from Western media because they have created a terrible and scary image of Iran by misinterpreting its people's virtues and vices as vices. Yeah, well, Scott Ritter made an interview yesterday too. I was listening alive. Scott Ritter says Iran doesn't. Israel is not a priority for Iran. Understand? So that's why Iran is not targeting Israel by this time. So understand? So Iranian people, they are nice people. Understand? They are victims. Well, you will not hear this on Western media, but that's the whole truth. Anyway, quote, I think the position Iran gained in the region, and especially among different countries of the world, is one of his legacies, she said of Raisi, attributing this to his efforts to combine politics with empathy and love. You know, I like Iranian people, but I'm just going to skip this because it's too specific about Iran, you know? It's too specific. I guess I will keep reading the Kurds Zaporizhzhia problems, the Zaporizhzhia issues. And I remember, I guess Kherson, I didn't remember last time, but I guess Kherson is a region, just like Donbass. I'm not sure, I'm pretty ignorant, you know. I will see, I will make a research before reading this. I will research about Russian regions, Donbass region. Despite I will never be there. Despite that, here we are, Donbass on Google Maps. Well, and says Kramatorsk, Donetsk. I know Donetsk. There's a awesome team, Donetsk, but I don't even remember the name. But Donetsk, you know, is a nice uniform. Is a orange black uniform, orange black. Donetsk, but I don't remember the name. I know Kiev has a Dynamo de Kiev. Zaporizhzhia. Oh, so it's very far. Zaporizhzhia. I wonder if Russia controls Zaporizhzhia. I guess they do control, but it's so far. Zaporizhzhia is very deep into Ukraine, you know. Well, this is not a good map. Donetsk, Mariupol. Anyway, I'm going to Google Images. I'm going to Google Images. Oh, get out of here. Kherson. I guess Donbass. It is a region. Understand? It's like a big. It's a huge chunk. It is a huge chunk of real estate. Kherson, I just see now is a city. I guess is a city in Donbass. Understand? So here we go. Today started very cold and now it's very hot. And right now it's very hot. But let's read some Russia Today, the cancel channel on YouTube. August 22, 2024, home Russia and former Soviet Union. Ukraine tried to attack Russian nuclear plant, Putin said. The IAEA has been noticed of the attempt strike on the facility in Kursk region. The president has said. Russian President Vladimir Putin shares a meeting with members of the government via video conference. at the Novo Ogaryovo state residence outside Moscow, Russia. Ukrainian forces have attempted to strike Russia's Kursk nuclear power plant. NPP President Vladimir Putin has said during a cabinet meeting. Kiev sent thousands of troops into Russia's Kursk region earlier this month, attempting to reach the town of Kurchatov, where the nuclear facility is located. Moscow has declared the incursion an act of terrorism and has deployed additional troops to repel the invaders. Quote, last night the enemy attempted to strike the atomic power plant, Putin said at a cabinet meeting on Thursday afternoon. The International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, has been informed they promised to come themselves and send specialists to assess the situation. I hope they actually do so. End of quote. The IAEA already has observers working at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, Europe's largest such facility. The mission was deployed in the summer of 2023 as Ukrainian troops attempted to seize the plant. Earlier this month, a Ukrainian drone attack set one of the cooling towers at the plant on fire. Rosatom CEO Alexei Likachev has discussed the situation at both power plants with IAEA Director Rafael Grossi and invited him. Oh, the heat is so hot now. I should now. I need a jockey. What about that? The sun is burning me. It's burning me. I prefer to get burned by beautiful babes, by beautiful women, not by the sun. You understand that you get burned by the burning like fire, like Ozzy Osbourne, as Ozzy Osbourne said. Rosatom CEO Alexei Likachev has discussed the situation at both power plants with IAEA Director Rafael Grossi and invited him to visit Kursk to personally assess the situation, according to the Russian media. Grossi has accepted the invitation and is planning to visit Kursk next week. And IAEA spokesman told AFP afterwards he will visit Kiev and speak with Ukrainian leader Vladimir Zelensky. According to Grossi, the IAEA is very concerned about any combat operation near the Kursk NPP the Kursk nuclear power plant, since it operates the same kind of reactors as the infamous Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Quote, they don't have a protective dome around them. Just the normal roof, which means that the reactor's core is pretty exposed. Grossi said the presence of troops within artillery range, quote, is a source of enormous concern to me and the agency, he added without specifying which forces he meant. Moscow has repeatedly criticized the international agency for never identifying the perpetrator of the attacks on nuclear facilities, even though the IAEA staff has known perfectly well that Kiev is to blame. Last week, Russian military journalist Marat Kairulin reported that Ukraine was preparing a dirty bomb for a false flag attack on either the Kursk or Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. Moscow said it was taking the report seriously and warned that any such attack will be met immediately with tough military and military technical countermeasures. That's it. So we have another from Russia Today, and that's it. EU country's president sounds like a terrorist, Moscow. Ukraine attacks train ferry carrying fuel tanks in southern Russia. August 22, 2024. EU country's president sounds like a terrorist, Moscow. The Czech Republic's Petr Pavel went too far by claiming the Nord Stream pipelines were a legitimate target for Ukraine, the Russian Foreign Ministry has said. Excuse me, yeah, maybe because Chilean and Czech Republic flags, they look similar, but I think that as well, you know. I'm not Ukrainian, I'm not a Zionist, I'm not Taiwanese, I'm not a Filipino. Well, maybe I got contaminated by this old oh no, look at this is the Elanus Leucurus over there. This is my boy. Yeah, just wait a second. Cancel. The show is canceled. I just saw my boy over there. This is not a seagull. This is the Elanus Leucurus. And now we are just waiting for him to make his magic. Such a beautiful bird. You know, I guess I'm going to stop the show, yeah. Just a second. The Elanus Leucurus just stay there. I never saw the Elanus Leucurus over there, you know, above the tower. I never saw that before. But there he is in the tower, lazy, you know, is not flying. The better thing about this Elanus Leucurus fly bird, this hawk, he stops in the air, you know. You can research Elanus Leucurus stop in the air. Anyway, let's read this news, this polemic news, because I don't, you know, there's a, what is what? Look, is there fuck. Lack of patience, you know, lack of patience. I lost it, but yeah, I guess you saw there something in this very video. I guess 23, 22, 24 minutes. The Elanus Leucurus just passed. Well, I love that bird. It didn't look so big, but beautiful anyway. I guess, well, war, there's no law in war, I guess. Well, maybe I'm pretty ignorant, but I guess war, by definition, is lack of laws, you know. Even law under capitalism is terrible. If you live in a capitalist country, you will have zero rights. You will have the only right of citizen in general is money, you know. If you have money, you will buy a lot of things. If you don't have money, you will perish. Anyway, August 22, 2024, Home World News. EU country's president sounds like a terrorist, Moscow. Well, there's no law in war. The Czech Republic's Petr Pavel went too far by claiming the Nord Stream pipelines were legitimate targets for Ukraine, the Ukrainian Foreign Ministry has said. photo. We have a photograph from Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova. Czech President Petr Pavel sounded like an international terrorist when he claimed that the Nord Stream gas pipelines were a legitimate target for Ukraine. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova has said. Pavel made the remarks in response to an article in the Wall Street Journal, which reported last week that Kiev had carried out the September 2022 sabotage that ruptured the key infrastructure built to deliver Russian gas to Germany in the rest of Western Europe. And the rest of Western Europe. Speaking to the Novinky CZ news outlet on Wednesday, the Czech president argued that if the Nord Stream attack was aimed at cutting off gas and oil supplies to Europe and the flow of money back to Russia, then it will be a legitimate target for Ukraine. Pavel stressed, however, that he does not have clear incriminating proof that Kiev was behind the sabotage. Responding to Pavel's remarks, Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Zakharova wrote in a Telegram post on Wednesday that they were too much, even for such an eccentric fringe figure. Previously, such ideas were only voiced by representatives of banned international terrorist cells, she added. I didn't pay attention. I was thinking about my lost hawk, Elanus leucurus. Responding to Pavel's remarks, Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Zakharova wrote in a telegram, eccentric fringe figure. Quote, previously such ideas were only voiced by representatives of banned international terrorist cells, she added. I'm not a terrorist, but war is terrible. As an example, Zakharova shared calls by senior figures in Islamic State, IS, formerly ISIS, and Al-Qaeda for their supporters to target the US, which according to the Russian diplomat, are similar in nature to the remarks by the Czech president. Sources claimed to the Wall Street Journal that Ukrainian leader Vladimir Zelensky had initially approved the attack on the Nord Stream pipelines, but later tried to call it off under pressure from the CIA. However, the then Ukrainian commander-in-chief Valery Zaluzhny allegedly allowed the operation to continue. The article by the US outlet was published on the same day that Germany issued its forced arrest warrant over the Nord Stream blasts. A suspect believed to be a Ukrainian diving instructor was identified as Vladimir Z, according to the media reports. Vladimir Zelensky, of course. No, it's Volodymyr, but not Vladimir. Kiev was denied any role in the Nord Stream sabotage, insisting that Russia blew up its own infrastructure. Moscow has dismissed the allegations as ridiculous. Senior Russian officials, including President Vladimir Putin, have previously pointed the finger at the US as the possible culprit behind the Nord Stream explosions. They have argued that Washington had the technical means to carry out the operation and stood to gain the most, considering that the attack disrupted Russian energy supplies to the EU and forced a shift to more expensive US supplied liquefied natural gas. Yeah, such a beautiful hawk I lost. But the hawk just was over there and just came down like the hawk actually came to me, you know. I guess next time I will take a sausage for him. I don't know if he ate sausage. What I do is dump my garbage, my organic garbage, in that cliff over here. I don't know, to I guess it's better, you know, for the environment. I guess, you know, I don't know. But if there's some rabbits, I guess these rabbits or lizards, I guess this hawk eat lizards. Yeah, that's what they eat, lizards and mouse. But there's no mouse, not such mouse to eat. Let's read the last one from Russia Today. Nord Stream was legitimate target for Ukraine, EU country's president. You know, I'm pretty surprised because what I say is there's no status quo in war, you know. You cannot allege nothing like fairness, you know. I guess there's no law in war, you know. Well, what you will say, oh no, don't shoot me, that's not fair. Understand? War is terrible. So you can do whatever you want. Actually, there's the Geneva, I don't remember now, but there's a Geneva contract, a Geneva protocol. But what the hell, this war, you know, war is terrible. So if you can explode the pipeline, you just do it, you know. You just do it. Don't think twice. That's what I think. I mean, that's what happens, you know. If you can blow the pipelines, I'm not saying I want to blow the pipelines or I am against Russia. I'm not. I support Russia, but this is kind of too diplomatic, understand? This is just too diplomatic. They are just talking too much. Maybe dialogue works, but this kind of dialogue, this kind of idealistic, you know, this idealism, blaming people, what people do in war, in war, understand? Maria Zakharova will never be in war, I guess. Anyway, Nord Stream was legitimate target for Ukraine, EU country's president, August 22. You know, I'm not supporting Ukraine, but yeah, if you are Nazi, I don't know why Ukrainians are Nazis, but if you're stupid like Ukrainians, poor and stupid, and you decide to no, it's very hard, you know. It's very hard, because from the point of view of Ukrainians, they want to be rich. They don't want to be poor as Ukrainians are. They want to enter the EU. That's it. Why Ukrainians don't first enter the EU? Why not just the trade? You know, trade is better. It's better than NATO, you know. Forget about NATO, just do trade, you know. Trade, work. That will make you rich, not NATO. Can you see what happened when you enter NATO? What a stupid past I have. Yeah, I have a stupid past with willing to go to Finland. Terrible. You know, the very last country, the very last great country to live if you are a woman, for example, is Iceland. Because Sweden right now, they will be destroyed by war. Because just this NATO stupidity, you know. EU is a great market, and just fine. Keep it low, you know. Keep the profile very low. Just trading, you know, having a good time. Not NATO. Forget about NATO. Anyway, Nord Stream was legitimate target for Ukraine, EU country's president. So if you are a stupid Ukrainian Nazi willing to unite with NATO, Yeah, if you are stupid, yeah, you will fight Russia. Understand? If you are stupid enough to, let's say, if you are stupid enough to think you will win, you will defeat Russia. Yeah, so in that scenario, understand, in that context, of course, if you can, you will blow up the Nord Stream. But they are super stupid. That's the sad question. The most important question is that Ukrainians, they are Nazis. They got Nazified by the CIA. That's the whole truth. Pipelines will always be attacked during conflicts due to their strategic importance, the Czech Republic's Petr Pavel has said. Well, I cannot agree more with this Czech guy. Yeah, because it's the context, understand? The war context is just destruction of everything, you know? War is terrible. People go away from countries in war, you know? That's what people do. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to lose natural gas, you know? What the hell are you going to do without natural gas? Nothing. You will perish. So go away from this stupid situation. Anyway, Czech President Petr Pavel, during his visit to Ukrainian capital, the Nord Stream pipelines were a legitimate target for Ukraine as part of its conflict with Russia, Czech President Petr Pavel has said. However, he stressed that he does not have any data proving that Kiev really was behind the attack. On the energy infrastructure, which was built to deliver Russian gas to Germany and the rest of Western Europe. During an interview with the outlet Novinky.cz on Wednesday, Pavel was asked to comment on a Wall Street Journal article which claimed that the September 2022 explosions which ruptured the pipelines had been carried out by Kiev. According to the US paper sources, Ukrainian leader Vladimir Zelensky allegedly initially approved the attack but later tried to call it off under pressure from the CIA. Ukraine's then commander-in-chief Valery Zaluzny reportedly allowed the operation continue. The Czech president stressed that he does not have any clear incriminating information that will link Kiev to the attack on Nord Stream. However, he pointed out that when an armed conflict is waged, it is waged not only against military targets but also against strategic targets, and pipelines are a strategic target. You know, I'm agree with this guy because the context, understand? So, Maria Zakharova, you are wrong. This time, you are wrong this time. Yeah, you know, look, you have to be critical, you know? All of us. We have to keep critical forever, understand? We have to be always critical. In the Nord Stream, sabotage was aimed at cutting off gas and oil supplies to Europe and the flow of money back to Russia. Then, it will be a legitimate target, Pavel, who is himself a former NATO general, said. I'm not supporting NATO. Not supporting NATO. Yeah, but you know, this is the West, you know. Don't misunderstand the reality, understand? Ukraine wants to be a NATO wannabe, and the West is all run by NATO. You know, NATO controls Europe. Don't fool around. You know, don't fool around on this. Someone blows up the Nord Stream. Well, it's bad for them. You know, forget about NATO. I guess, I don't know. Keep doing business with. Yeah, if this all is wrong, face like it is, it's terrible too for Russia maybe, they try to be partners of China. Anyway, but this article here only shows weakness from Russia, in my opinion. This only weakness. In the Nord Stream sabotage was aimed at cutting off gas and oil supplies to Europe and the flow of money back to Russia. Then it will be a legitimate target, Pavel, who is himself a former NATO general, said. You know, Russia should do more business with China and Asia in general. Quote, pipelines have always been and will always be targets because they have the potential to influence the conflict in one direction or the other, he added. The Czech president acknowledged that if Ukraine's role in the destruction of Nord Stream 1 and 2 is proven, it may affect the willingness of countries in the EU to provide assistance to Ukraine in its fight with Russia. Quote, on the other hand, we have no other option but to support Ukraine. And at this time, it is not about whether we like Ukraine or not, but about whether we want to live in a world where one country can invade another just because it is bigger and stronger, he claimed. Well, I'm not agree with this because Ukraine wanted to be part of NATO before, and that's a threat to Russia. Anyway, top officials in Moscow, including Russian President Vladimir Putin, have previously pointed the finger at the US as the possible culprit behind the Nord Stream sabotage. They argue that Washington has the technical means to carry out such an operation and also stood to gain the most from the attack that disrupted Russian energy supplies to the EU, forcing the switch to more expensive US-supplied liquefied natural gas. In early 2023, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Seymour Hersh reported that explosives had been planted on the Nord Stream pipeline by the US Navy divers under cover of a NATO exercise and were later detonated on orders from US President Joe Biden. The White House responded by rejecting these findings as utterly false and complete fiction. Yeah, I guess that's it. But you know, don't be childish, you know. Don't be childish about geopolitics. Stop wasting your time with cynicism, you know. The conflict is just like it is, you know. This conflict is just like it is not less than that, you know. It's a huge conflict. Face it. Face the huge conflict. Don't keep being diplomatic like this, you know. Forget about it. It's tricky, it's hard, and that's it. It's hard, it's very hard. Russia should keep doing business with Asia, and that's it. Forget about these Western losers. In my opinion, West will lose, I guess. Daniel Jadue libre.
Cuando era obligatorio ocupar y la gente pobre no tenía mascarilla, es como el otro día la denuncia que hicieron de que teníamos ataúdes apilados dentro del cementerio. No los puedo poner en la farmacia popular, no los puedo poner no los puedo poner en la oficina, ni los puedo poner en la librería porque los ataúdes se guardan en los cementerios. Entonces,
Daniel, mira, en la mañana me llegó al celular alguien que respeto mucho, que tú la debes conocer, la periodista de investigación Nancy Guzmán, diplomada en historia, además una mujer, aquí Romo, Confesiones de un torturador, Ingrid Olderoth, La mujer de los perros, La justicia al banquillo, el último libro de Nancy Guzmán, El saqueo al mar, La venda sexy, bueno, tantos libros de investigación que han contribuido a aclarar o a entregar verdades a Chile. Y ella me dice lo siguiente a través del mensaje que me mandó, sabiendo la relación que tengo contigo, entiendo. Me espanta la arremetida mediática.
Espérate, tenéis que mostrar el mensaje para ver si es cierto, porque esto los mensajes de WhatsApp hoy día, tú sabéis que Oye, hay uno que tiene que estar llorando hoy día en la formalización, ¿eh? Les cuento, no, solo antes de que lo leáis, César.
Ya.
El dueño de Besquality, cuyos empleados hicieron la autodenuncia de cohecho diciéndoles que yo le había pedido una coima en mascarilla, ¿no? Quedó formalizado por cohecho reiterado. Ellos lo hicieron mintiendo para extorsionarme porque no les podía pagar la deuda, ¿no? Y este gallo permitió que fueran a hacer la autodenuncia sabiendo que era mentira y hoy día está él formalizado. Yo quisiera verle la cara hoy día. Yo quisiera verle la cara a un empresario que se prestó para que mintieran con la esperanza de conseguir que le pagáramos una deuda impagable porque los municipios nos habían quedado debiendo 1.500 millones de pesos y don Álvaro hoy día está formalizado. Yo no lo conozco, no lo he visto nunca en mi vida, ni a él ni a los otros dos que los vi una sola vez o dos veces porque entraron a mi oficina a sacarse fotos. Mira qué interesante, me muero de ganas de escuchar su declaración.
Bueno, pero escucha mejor lo que me escribió Nancy Guzmán, la periodista. Me espanta la arremetida mediática y judicial contra el alcalde Jadwe, porque es un avance contra la izquierda y la democracia finalmente.
Bursting or sightseeing, I'm going to say bird seeing is so hard because those birds are so quiet. They will never move. I guess my bird is over there. There's some white thing there. Could be my bird, my Elanus leucurus. Well, some time ago, this Elanus leucurus was that way, this way, but now he found the tower. he has a good sight. These Elanus, the hawks in general, they have good sight, so they just stopped getting lazy up on the tower. It's not floating. Understand, the Elanus, what they do is floating in the air, like very, very steady. That's beautiful, but looks like they are evolving into laziness. What a shame, nature.